Hey, something very unusual and very much expected happened this weekend. In Germany at the tournament in Raddadel, um, Manuel won the tournament. Very much expected, but he did it with an MSU list. Very much unexpected. So today I wanted to show you the list and just talk through the individual bits of it. It's a very, very unusual British list that he took to a major tournament and won with it. He wrote to me after the tournament saying that it was one of the hardest fought tournaments that he had tried, and especially that his list was maybe not in his usual play style, which I completely agree with. It's a very unusual list in many respects. So let's go and see, and this is it. 21 order dice. This is pretty usual for Manuel. He likes high order dice armies, but unusually this is not what I would term a horde build. This is an MSU list, multiple small units. At 1100 points, 21 order dice is very high. And he's going Brits, also very unusual, and it's also very unusual to go MSU with the Brits. So he starts with a rifle platoon, with a platoon commander, inexperienced, with a rifle. He could have caught 1 point there, but I think most of his officers were actually on foot, which is very bad for the Brits. But, you know, it is Manuel. He can do magic stuff that the rest of us can't do. And then the air landing rifle sections. These are the backbone of building such a list here, because it's 4 men. And you can take them regular. You can take a lot of these guys. An absolute crap ton of these guys. This unit here has double submachine guns, so it's something that could go along with an officer in a transport, get out and be a little bit of a threat. Though not much, because it's still just 2 guys with machine guns, right? And then we have one here that's got a single machine gun. So again, it's a question of points here. I think potentially the last couple of points could have been scrounged together to give this one an extra machine gun. Up here, anti-tank team. This one has guards so that it can remove pins if it sits in its vehicle and the vehicle gets shot at, gets pinned. This will still be able to get out and be a threat. Those points could have been saved, potentially with a rifle or 2 on officers, could have given you an extra submachine gun. I don't know if it's the right way to go, but it's just something that could have happened. Then we get to light mortars. And notice something that he does here. He buys them an extra man. Why? Because light mortars is just inexperienced dudes. They're very vulnerable, and they're not going down if they're shooting, so they're extremely likely to get hit and killed. But he does this so that they will get hard cover. Because if you have a 2-man unit, then having 1 guy behind cover and 1 out will not, by the rulebook, confer them cover. But if you have 3 men, and 2 of them are in cover, then you are definitely the majority in cover. So he actually gets a cover save for that. That is pretty clever. Though it does mean that the light mortar becomes somewhat more expensive. An armored platoon with a wasp. I'm not a massive fan of the wasp, though I know that Manuel has run flamethrower vehicles before and likes them. For me, it's just very, very vulnerable. It's a 7+ open-topped flamethrower. It does have turn on the spot, but it's very, very vulnerable, right? And you have to get very close to the enemy. And being that close, you're also very likely to have the enemy charge you, especially if you have shot your shot. And he brings 2 of these. One of them, the command vehicle, so they can go in tandem and push each other along. And then a couple of the Crusader AA Mark 1s. I love mine. They are always within hand's reach, my Crusaders. They are the best. Love them to bits. I use them all the time. and they were beasts in Manuel's games. He told me at 105 points for an armored heavy autocannon, very very good. And they are a little bit of a threat to infantry. They do have the two 1-inch templates, but the most common threat that they go after for me is light vehicles and transports. And then a Greyhound, which is a nice little accompaniment to the flamethrower Wasps. It has a light AT gun. It has a coaxial machine gun. It's open topped. It's got recce, so it's an annoyance and a little bit of a threat. Something to push up and just have the enemy go at, and you can recce away, right? An artillery platoon rounds this off. He brings another officer with another rifle. That is the last point you could have saved to get yourself a submachine gun. And then 2 land mattress multi-rocket launchers. These have been nerfed quite extensively in version 3, but they're still quite good if you know how to place them right. I am not a good player in that respect. I can't figure that out, although I recently had great success using a Katusha in a Soviet list. But, you know, I'm typically not feeling it. But it does what multi-launchers do. It forces the enemy to spread out, and if you clump up, you're very likely to be hit by double land mattress multi-rocket launchers. And I know Manuel has a different experience with multi-rocket launchers. He likes playing them, although, you know, it's always a question for him. Do I want to go the horde route, or do I want to go and actually this list that he has here is a little bit vulnerable to multi-rocket launchers because he has so many order dice, right? And then a couple of heavy autocannon, Bofors heavy autocannons. These are platform mounted, and they're fixed. So they sit there, they go on ambush. Brilliant. Love it. Love it. The final platoon is a recce platoon with another officer. Again, could have saved the points. The military police, I am very much looking into that myself. I've just painted up 4 dudes for this exact purpose with pistols, which I think is the right way to run them. Just like Manuel is doing here, because what they do is they're not there for anything. They're the cheapest possible way for you to get traffic direction so that your vehicles can outflank, right? And outflanking actually makes the Wasps and the Greyhound a lot more dangerous, right? Because they're going to come in from at odd points, at odd times when the enemy doesn't want to deal with it, and they're going to have shots in your rear or wherever you want to go, right? So the military police will sit in reserve until everything else is on the board. Then they will walk on and possibly try to reach an objective somewhere, if there's one that they can, or, you know, rush towards the enemy's back line, whatever happens. I will typically try and put mine in outflank. I guess Manuel did something along that line, just to have them outside waiting, do something late game. And then another air landing section. This is just rifles. Again, very, very basic. 4 regular dudes with rifles. They do have stubborn, so they can take losing a couple of guys and not run away, but they are very vulnerable. Another peer team. Again, I think this potentially needs transport, and there's only 1 transport in the list, an M5 half-track. I do like the M5 half-track. That is very, very good. For 72 points, he buys it in experience, though. So even though he does have the heavy mounted, the heavy 360 machine gun, it's inexperienced. He's shooting with -1, -2 most of the time because he's moving. And he only has this 1 transport to put all of his stuff in. All his vulnerable officers, all the peer teams, all of that. Everything that needs to protection of some sort goes in this, right? It's a very unusual list for Brits. It is a list that I would have thought in the hands of anyone else could not win. But, you know, Manuel with a couple of multi-launchers, a lot of order dice, he can do magic. He can do magic. So congratulations, Manuel, on your win at Raddadel. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this little walkthrough of his list. I will hopefully have the full results soon, and we shall see what we can learn from that. That was it for me. See you next time. Cheers.